Right, so welcome back to the channel. We've got it's been a while since I done this, so we're doing a little bit more on the Airfix 124 Spitfire Mark 5B, and where did we get to? Well, I can't remember. I've done a bit of cleanup on some of the parts, and because obviously the big was making that was slowing this whole build down is the amount of cleanup required for the parts. That's purely it. Because I was trying to do this build completely live, absolutely everything live. No bits done outside of the live stream. Unfortunately, if I carry on with that attitude, it's just going to keep going and going. It's going to take ages to do this. So I've decided that any cleanup I'm going to do off live, not live. I'm going to clean it up. The parts will still be, and then when we come on, we can put them together. We can see how they fit, and we can do all that. But the general cleanup of the flash, for example, these took forever on the front of these engine frames, airframe. They really did take a long time because they're so delicate, and they've got little tiny plastic pieces that had all sort of molded in there. Not flash. They were a lot thicker than flash and had to be sort of cut out. So I mean that took a long time, and there's same on the other side. So hi Rob. So that's where we're at. And I don't think I don't know. Did you see that? Yeah, I did hold it up. Yeah, I just realised the camera's in the wrong position again. So let's just reposition that. So I've got all the pieces here, and with the exception of this one, it's got to have that little piece took off there. It's the engine. We've got the different bulkheads and that there. Some little switches and gizmos in the seat, and obviously we've got the two airframes which I have painted inside, and I've sort of generally given them a darker, shaded in areas. So let me just. I'm looking at the instructions here. I don't know, you can't see the top one. So we're actually here on step 6, which is this piece here. Right. So this lever has to go on. And well, the looks of it goes on that way, and that's number 33, which I've written here is black matte. And I've just come across this morning. This is a ceramic tile. It's quite a big ceramic tile, and we use these. You might use a smaller version for cutting your photo etch on. I've got a big version here for mine, but I've noticed this morning that you can jot notes on these with like a. If you've got a whiteboard marker, even better, because you can just scribble notes on here, and then when you finish, just put a bit of thinner on a bit of tissue, and it will just wipe straight off. So allow me to demonstrate. This is a permanent marker, so so you just blah 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 blah. Like that. You write your notes down, or you can, you can put your piece up near the top there, like this one here, say, and that is, if you've cut it off and you need to remember what number it is, you can put a circle around it, and you could put number 166, or you could also put a little hashtag 33, needs paint in black, hasn't been done yet, so it's all there ready. And then when you've done it, just get your favourite brand of thinner. Squeeze a bit on the tissue like so, and then just wipe it off.
He's settling down now.
Like that. And there we go. Nice and clean. And just a little tip there. I don't know if people have probably discovered it before, but yes, Rob, it was cockpit green. I'm just going to actually move the fan because the fan is making the table wobble. So I'll just move that over there. It's vibrating through the table and giving it that wobbly effect. Rob, did those colours help? That Vallejo colour set, was that any good? Right, so we're going to put these on. Now then, let's see where everything goes. So we've got number 33, and that is supposed to go, according to that, it's there, but it doesn't actually. It doesn't actually show this square. Which is peculiar.
Well, I wouldn't try doing that.
So
your arm's that bad, I wouldn't bother because your legs.
Let me just see how that doesn't.
Well, take it carefully.
Unless it goes. Right, I see. Yeah. She goes like that. Or does it go like that? It could actually go either way. I'm actually thinking it goes that way. The drawings, the drawing down here, it could be the 6 o'clock position. It's sort of, but it's more 20 to 9 or 22. Sorry, not 20 to 9. Let's go with that. Now, it's going to be a bit of a problem to scrape the paint out of there, but I know that these tiny little bits, they do mold, they do bend just as well together. Obviously, when it comes to big parts, you remove the paint, but I know that when this goes on, because it's only a light part, it's not load bearing as such. go. Just leave that there to settle. Then we've got this one, which is going to be painted silver. I can paint, because they're raised off the surface, I'm okay to paint these when they're in position. In this case, it'll probably be easier. We can actually use the glue just to remove the paint off the top surface like that. Give it a little wipe over the bit of tissue just to remove that off of there. And then come in with a fresh, and again that goes like that. And then we've got a single canister that goes, and I just need to get the trimmers for this one. Snip that off. And again, I don't think there's a correct way around for this, it just goes on. Yeah. Bit of a loose fit that. It's okay as the glue goes off, it will. Right, we'll leave that to one side for it to, and then we're going to paint that in a minute, paint those individual pieces the colour they need to be. And then we've got number 78 needs to go in, which is this one. Now, yes, I had some EPM marks on this, which I had to remove, so this will probably need touching up as well afterwards. Now, if I remember rightly, they were on the back. So now this is more of a internal structural piece. So with this one, I am actually going to clean the edges off to make sure we get a better bond. I'm going to use the as you know, I'm using the new Flexi file system at the moment, giving it a trial, see how it goes. I haven't done an enormous amount of building because of the hot weather that we've been having. I've got a little piece there. Interestingly, with these Flexi files, as you're going along, you can feel every little, you know, if there is a little bit of plastic that's standing proud, as you come up to it, you can just feel it. It just stops. And you can see how quickly it just cleaned that off there. And actually leveled up the got a little tiny bit of flash on there, must have missed it. And just round the top. Pop that to one side. I've got to get this the right way around. Don't want to cock this up. Now there is a right and a wrong way because there's a little tag on the top there. I need to know, it's not very well. I've got to go forward in the instructions now to see whether right, it doesn't appear to be. Instructions are not very clear, but on this piece there's a little tiny location peg there, but there's not one on this side. So, and it's not clear on the drawing. In fact, it just doesn't say which way around that goes. So let's just see how that fits there. Okay. Right. I'm tempted to maybe use super glue on this, but we'll see. Now I need the pointed file. So obviously we have paint down here. Just scrape away. I've not been overly impressed with these. They looked really good when they came out, and I thought they're a fantastic idea. But the point on them, after very minimal use, the grit on them just comes away, and you're left with a very smooth plastic. It's not going to come on. Sometimes if you go in closer, And back out. Come on. No. Yeah, see, this is all smooth at the front now. There's no grit on there at all. And it starts back up around about there. So, I'm a bit disappointed in them because I specifically got them for use for this point. Whether they'll come in handy for the circular side of them along here, we'll have to wait and see. Right, I was tempted to do super glue along there, but I'll stick with that's what I should have done. Let's try to get these. Try to get this. So at the moment, I know it looks like I haven't glued all of it, but I just want to just tack it in one spot. Let's come away a little bit once I've got it tacked. Roughly where I want it. I can just get some glue in behind it. Just make sure that's 90 degrees. No, it's not quite. Back a little bit. Doesn't quite meet all the way along. There's a slight gap up here and down here, but hopefully that's not going to be seen when it's all buttoned up together. So we'll put that to one side to let them all cure. I'm just going to drop a bit more glue on this one. Yeah, these other two have gone, they're okay. There we go. If that bond doesn't become strong enough, I will have to get some super glue behind it. Just pop that to over there. Then we've got the, oh, we did have the other side. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. And we've got little couple of bits to put on here. So now on step 7. And again, this is something that I can paint up once it's on there. And this requires to be painted silver. I'm just thinking whether to I don't know whether to spray that or paint that. Okay, no, I'm okay. I remembered I've got some Vallejo acrylic metallics. I can use them. So I was just debating there whether to get the airbrush out with the AK Interactive Extreme Metals, but I don't really want to set it up just for one canister when I can brush paint and get a nice finish as well. It's not in an area that's going to see much traffic as such. It's not going to be constantly touched or anything, so the Vallejo will be suitable for that part. Right, now then we've got I'm not exactly sure where this piece comes into it. Is this number 45? I need to have a closer look. Yes, it is. Yeah, I just got it the wrong way around. Just need to take the, where did I put that? Make that flat, it's better. And also, now where you've got to be careful with little pieces like this is, don't know if you can see that, but this piece here on the end, it looks like a sprue gate that's remained on when if it will come into focus for me. Ooh, come on. You know, some days this camera works okay, and other days it just plays up somewhat chronic. Well, anyway, there. It looks like a sprue gate on the end. That is actually the part, though. So what's happened is there's a little bit of plastic that's sort of melted itself onto the end. So you just need to trim that off. Do not cut the whole thing off because it is actually a lever. There we go. Excellent. Now then that goes on So down, and we are going in there. So I am going to clean this one off a bit. Probably a little bit too much there, to be honest. I don't quite need to put that much on. There we go. Damn, I thought that was a location point above it. It's an EPM, which is, I'm going to have to take that off. Just above there, because of these, I thought these, you know, they're all location points, but they're not. You're not going to see that one. To be honest, I don't think you're going to see this one appear. Once the control, no, you're not. So that might be why I've left it, actually. We'll see. I might need to remove that at another point. So then we'll come along. We've got these big tanks. What these maybe oxygen, I'm not sure. And these tanks are going in this big out here. I don't think and I don't really want them sitting against the fuselage at the bottom, because they would stand proud, because they would be held on by this bracket. So they're away from the fuselage at the bottom. They're not sort of touching. I've got them when they're locked in straight. All right, let's that one in. And finally, oh, I don't recall seeing that piece. Number 33, where's that lunchbox gone? What have we done with it? That must be it. That is going to sit actually this piece here I was going to throw away because I thought it was just a bit of scrap plastic. It was on the desk, but I remember thinking no, because I was rushing at the time to get cleaned up, and I thought I'd better not till I've had a proper look at it, so I put it in the box with all these other pieces. And it was a good job I did, because it turns out it's actually a piece. It looks just like a scrap piece of sprue. And because there's so much flash and seam lines on them, some of the parts do not actually resemble anything. And the only thing that gives this away is there's a slight ripple along one edge, which is supposed to simulate buttons, I guess, of some sort. Again, it's not something that's going to be seen when it's on, but you know, let's just put it on anyway. Sausage fingers at work again. There we go. And pop that to one side to let them dry. And bring, well, actually, while we're at it, I haven't yet decided whether the pilot is going to be in this kit or not. But he is here. So I think maybe we should put him together, glue him and see what he looks like painted up. It's actually quite well detailed. If I can do a good enough job of painting him, then I may end up doing my first ever figure in a plane. So unfortunately this one wasn't cleaned ahead of time, because I just thought about this just now. Feet are a bit of a mess, or the soles of them are. Let me turn that light. Oh, it is down. Let me turn it off then. Let's see whether. No, probably better. Let's put it on full. Need that bloody black card that I used to have. The white's not helping. Looks like he's got flippers. But the detail on the front for an old kit is really quite good. Just have a quick look at chat. Rob says spot on, ordered yesterday about the paints that you put up for him. That's Angela that put them up. She went searching for them while I was on here. Hello, Bob. Morning. So Bob says it keeps buffering bad. All right. Hello, Scale Model Vamp. Dr. Sprue. Hello, Plastic Craftsman. There we go. Oh, got a new subscriber. I don't even know how to say that. It's Chinese writing. So we'll just say hello to our new subscriber from the Orient. So let's just try and get Mr. Jan Zambuk, I think his name was, the pilot of this plane. Let's try and get him in his. He played quite a role in Battle for Britain and many other battles. He was Polish, one of our great fighter pilots who came over. You get a lot of people complaining about, I don't want to get too political, but they say, they're coming over and stealing our jobs. I didn't see anyone complaining when he was coming over and killing enemies for us. That's all I'm going to say on that. I am just going to swamp this join because when you sort of clamp one area, the other area pops open. Let me get some little clamps to. Sorry, Jan, I'm going to have to crush your face with a massive. Come down here. Yeah, that guy's come all the way from Bob's place. He's normally driving up and down outside Bob's house.
Thanks for sharing, Bob.
Yeah. Sharing is caring. How's Daniel? Oh. Our dog is poorly. Like, quite poorly. And don't like it when he's poorly. Always worry because of what happened to Toby.
You better not be sick on the couch then. Mummy just do sick. On the couch.
He's just had a drink, so.
Well, if he's sick, I think I will hand the baton over to you and you can clean up. Oh, dear.
There we go. He's going to need a little bit of clean up around the seams. Probably going to need another clamp on there. Obviously he's a bit out of shape, but then he is, I don't know how old, 80 odd years old, 80, 90, 100 maybe he'd be. I don't even know if he's still alive. Right, so we're going to put him over there in his little torture device and hope that he doesn't end up with a flat nose. No, we're okay. Okay, right. Put him over there. What are we at? 45 minutes. So, do we start? Yes, we can just briefly bring these back. Let me get some black, silver, and black, silver. Yeah, and gunmetal. Uno momentum. What? You've been sick on the...
All right.
Oh dear. Do worry about this. Right, so I'm using metal colour silver, gunmetal grey, and just a regular black for... I'm going to use this. Break out one of my detail brushes. These are my very special brushes that cost me an absolute fortune, and they only come out usually for figures. To be honest, I probably wouldn't normally use one on an aircraft detail, but I am doing this live for my show, like my channel, so I don't really want to cock it up. So I'm not going to need much of this at all, and it's going to dry fairly quick because of the weather. I'm just going to put 2 drops down for now to one side. And we go straight in with the Artificio layer brush. This is the small one by Citadel. I do highly recommend these, and this is number 33. So I am going to do underneath. You probably would not see this unless it drops on the floor and falls to pieces, and then somebody might say, oh, he hasn't painted underneath that. Right. looks good enough, really. Let me just... I'm going to paint all the black areas first because with the heat the way it is, the paint will dry before I get back to doing it. And the back of the seat is actually... Oh, I've done that. It's already been done. No. 53. The back of the seat, 53. Yes, needs doing. So that's gunmetal though. We'll come back to that in a minute. We've got this tiny little piece here. Sorry, I'm off the camera. Let me just bring it up a bit because I need to see these closely. There. That's that. Well, that's good to go there. There we go. And now we're going to come in with the silver. These need a really, really good shake, these Vallejos. Just look on the bottom. Make sure all the pigment's moved, that you're full of bubbles at the bottom. You'll see all the bubbles. They really do bubble up inside as well when you shake them. And for this, again, just 2 drops. Oh, no, I think we're going to get away with 1 drop. So 33 is, yeah, that was that one. We're now looking for number 11. So, and these Vallejo metallic paints are absolutely unbeatable in terms of acrylic. Acrylic metallics, these are fantastic. They even rival many lacquer metallics, I think. And you can brush these on and they look flawless. As you can see. Oh, our cameras really don't want to work today. I think it might be dirty. I might have to just just give that a clean. Let me just finish doing this silver. And then, so that's 11. Flip over the page. And we've got 2 11s. 2 11s. Like that. Actually, one might not be big enough. One drop may not be big enough. So we've got incredibly, I'm still using the first. I just loaded up the brush a minute ago, and I'm still only using that first amount. Incredible. I am going to come along with, later on with these straps and go over them and give them make them green. And I'll probably do this top pipe copper, but for now I'll paint it silver. Yeah, that's drying out. Trying to make this little amount last. Fortunately, it's not going to, so I'm going to have to put another. Right, Oh, back's starting to hurt now, so oh dear. I think I'm going to have to come to a close very soon. I've got a lot of pain in my back now. Comes on very quick. We've got one more colour to put on, which is 53, none this side. We've got a gunmetal, I'm sure of it. Yeah, we've got one gunmetal to go on. But ignore the black bands, they're going to be painted green. So we've got that this side. I mean, that silver looks really good. Vallejo silver, can't knock it at all. And then from the other side, we have this top one's got to be gunmetal. Which go for it. I'll go for it. I'm going to just paint that one. No bubbles yet. Oh dear. Right, there we go. Ooh. I'll just stand that in there a minute. Which one? And there we go. So not an awful lot today, but we have started to make more progress. We've got the control levers and that on in there. And the control levers in there. We've got this bulkhead glued in, and we've got Mr. Jan Zumbach, I can't remember his name, Zumbach I think it is. We've got him glued up and in some sort of ancient torture device to keep him from moving. He's got no arms yet anyway, so he's harmless enough. And there we go. Unfortunately, that's where I'm going to have to leave it because I'm in immense amount of pain now, and which has scuppered my plans a bit because I planned to get that all buttoned up today. So apologies for not being able to go any further. Let me just go through the rest of the messages in case there's any questions there. So we got to Rob saying afternoon to Dr. Sprue. Dr. Sprue said he's off to church this morning. See you later, guys. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. Everybody saying bye. And then Bob's gone off. He's gone off to get something to eat. And scale model vamp saying progress is good. Now, was that the Vallejo metals you used? I had to step away from it. Yes, it was. Vallejo acrylic metal color. These ones, not the ones that they do. They do a metal color in their regular bottles. They're not the same. You want these ones. Much, much better. Unbeatable in terms of acrylics. You won't get a better metal color in acrylics. That's my opinion. And as I've said, it does rival some of the lacquer ones. Where it fails more than anything is its resilience. It's okay once it's got a coat over the top of it, a clear coat, but on its own, it won't stand up to very, much sanding or anything like that. But it's good. It's good. I love it. I use it all the time. If it was in bare metal finish plain, I wouldn't use it. I would use my AK Interactive Metals. Is it? I just bought the AK Interactive Metals. They're supposed to be very good. I haven't tried them yet. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget Wednesday night live stream, live show, whichever terminology you want to use. Just trying to think. We've got 2 group builds going on at the moment. We've got the Ford Escort. They're all available on the Facebook page, which is Sprue Surgery Waiting Room. You can join my personal page, which is Sprue Surgeon. And then there's this page, which is the Sprue Surgery Waiting Room. And yeah, that's about it, I think. Live show. We've got 2 group builds. We have another build coming up. It's polycarpos, but I'm thinking of talking to Chris and asking whether he wants to open it up to Soviet World War II or Soviet first half of the century plane, something like that. Because there's a lot of people I've come across that are not too keen on the Polycarpov. So, it's a weird plane. It's very small, but you either love it or hate it. I love it. So, but given that there's a few people that are not that keen on it, it might be a good idea to open it up. I'll have to speak to Chris about that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.